Greetings, my dear friend. I am Mira and I want to read to you and with you the amazing and unique book that I found in my family's library. I love to sneak in there, climb the shelves and check what stories and tales those rows of books hide from me. The book I have today was published in 1916, which is more than 100 years ago. The title is Manners and Rules of Good Society and Solecisms, to be avoided. I asked my grandma what solecism means, and it appears that solecism means either a grammatical mistake in reading or writing, or some incorrect behavior. The author of the book is a member of the Aristocracy. That is it. No name, no surname. I guess the author was a bit shy to put his name on the front page. Well, the king from my favorite book, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, would say, he must have meant some mischief, or else he'd have signed his name like an honest man. Okay, that is enough with the introduction. I ought to say that my grandma simplified the text a bit so it would be easier to read and understand. Chapter 1. The Meaning of Etiquette. What is etiquette and what does the word convey or mean? It has an old-fashioned ring about it, and yet the word etiquette is not so very old. Our present code of etiquette is constructed upon the refinement, polish and cultures of years, of centuries, wealth and luxury, and contact with all that is beautiful in art and nature, have in all ages exercised a powerful influence on the manners of men. Why should we not be a well-mannered people? Why should we not seek to charm if we can? Chapter 2. Introductions. There are ceremonious and unceremonious introductions. For instance, a lady should not introduce two of her acquaintances moving in different circles, unless they have expressed such a desire. An undesired introduction, if made, compels the one to whom it is most unwelcome to treat the other one with marked coldness, or to continue an acquaintance that is distasteful. When a difference of a rank exists between two persons, in making an introduction, the lady of the lowest rank should be introduced to the lady of the highest rank.
I don't believe we've been introduced.
No, we haven't. Lady Elizabeth Foster.
A gentleman should always be introduced to a lady, whatever his rank may be.
They're coming over. Smile, girl, smile.
Mrs. Bennet, Mr. Bingley has expressed a wish to become acquainted with you and your daughters.
Sir, that is very good of you.
Introductions are made between ladies. An unmarried lady should be introduced to a married lady, unless the unmarried lady is of a higher rank than the married lady.
Mamma, may I present Matthew Crawley and Mrs. Crawley, her mother, Lady Grantham?
What should we call each other? Well, we could always start with Mrs. Crawley and Lady Grantham.
When the introduction has been made, the ladies should bow to each other, and either lady should make a slight remark. For example, "Oh, what beautiful shoes you got. Oh, what a nice hat. Where did you get that hat?"
This is Mrs. Dudley Ward.
Of course you are.
Have we met?
No, I read about you in the American newspapers. Gossip, really nothing to worry about.
It is the privilege of a lady to be the first to offer to shake hands, in every case, when a gentleman is introduced to her. A lady should shake hands with everyone introduced to her in her own house.
Miss Doolittle, how do you do? Good evening, Colonel.
Good evening.
When the majority at a dinner party are strangers to each other, a host or a hostess should introduce one or two of the principal guests to each other.
This is Sir Thomas Sharp, Sir Thomas Dr. Alan McMichael, best man in town if you're feeling poorly.
A hostess should, in some instances, introduce ladies to each other in the drawing room after dinner if the opportunity offers and she considers it advisable to do so. If you don't know, the drawing room is such a room where you drink tea, or have cupcakes, or have some pastries. But generally, ladies sit there.
Well, I think it's enchanting.
It's a woman's room, though.
Of course.
At large gatherings, persons who want to avoid each other, acquaintanceship,
Maestro Salieri. At last.
could be present at the house of a mutual acquaintance without coming into direct contact with one another, providing the host and hostess possessed tact to understand that. So, if you have a friend and another friend who don't like each other and they don't want to be like talking to each other in front of everyone because they just don't like each other, then you should understand that and not make them like, oh, come on, say sorry. Oh, you're just going to be okay.
It doesn't really work, does it? Did you try? Shouldn't it be a bit more? Or this? This? Yes. Better? What do you think?
At public balls. A chaperone is responsible for the acquaintances a young lady forms while under charge at a ball. When a gentleman is introduced to a young lady at a public ball, it generally means that he is introduced to her as a partner for the dance and that though he may not ask her for the next dance, he will for the subsequent one. Or he will continue a conversation with her until the dance is over.
May I request the pleasure of a dance with your daughter, Natalia?
Of course. She'll be delighted.
Ladies do not rise from their seats on being introduced either at home or before dinner is announced. Half an exception occurs if it's true at crowded at homes, when to rise and talk to a lady introduced is almost a necessity.
How kind of you to let me come. Delighted, my dear. Lady Boxington. How do you do? How do you do? Lord Boxington.
There is no vacant seat for her to take. And therefore, if both do not stand, a conversation is at a deadlock. Deadlock means that's it. The conversation cannot begin and cannot end, because they don't have anything to talk about. Also, it is ungraceful for a lady to bend over once seated for the purpose of saying a few platitudes. The attitude is like what I said in the beginning, oh, what nice shoes you got kind of thing. Some people have short memories for faces and others are short-sighted. And both these drawbacks have to be reckoned when with expecting a recognition from a person to whom one has been introduced.
Something to do with... Wait, he was part of the... Oh God, I know this.
It's Ambassador Franklin, and that's the woman that he left his wife for, Rebecca.
Rebecca. Ambassador?
Miranda, she's fabulous.
This is all for today, and I will see you next time with more secrets about good manners. It was me, Mira. Goodbye! Switch off your telly.